All right. So, to all zero people of you watching, Vader shooting has ended, and it was awesome. So today we shot our last bit on the stage, and we also filmed on location. Star Wars Theory did a live stream on that. So if you saw that, you saw. If you saw Star Wars Theory's live stream, you saw where we were on location in a big mausoleum that's supposed to be on Naboo. So Bone, it went pretty good. Honestly, one of the shots today is two of the shots that we shot today. The opening shot and one of the ending shots are some of the nicest things I've ever seen on camera. In fact, Star Wars Theory said about the opening shot that it was one of the coolest moments he's ever seen in Star Wars. So I like that compliment. I appreciated that. All right, guys. So I want to answer your questions because I like answering your questions. And so if you have any questions, please ask. Yeah, Vader did look sick in Star Wars Series live stream because Vader is sick. Dupree Jones killed it. So all 10 of you, let's like the video because you like me. Anyways, so we shot for 4 days. The assistant editor is now breaking everything down, logging all the footage, syncing everything. And I will start editing Tuesday. We're going to shoot some interviews tomorrow about the whole process for you guys, so you guys can have some pretty cool behind-the-scenes videos. Okay, let's see here. Some of the questions. So, is this the end of shooting for now? Bapitos? Yeah, for now, yeah, it is. We shot all of episode 1 in 4 days, which is intense. All right, so does Star Wars Theory look unique? He looks like a person. I don't know how else to answer that. Okay, Bowen, what did you find the most stressful part of directing this? Getting all my shots, for sure. Directing this, especially with a massive action scene, is really, really difficult because it requires a lot of setups, a lot of moving parts. Like the scene that we shot in location today, there was no action, so it was like super easy. We did it in 5 setups. 2 of those being 2 composite shots for a visual effects shot. And so it was really nice. We shot for only like 3 hours and we got the scene. It was great. All right. So I've written. Lego Maker says I have written a fan fiction. It's called Duel Naboo. My OCJ line faces Darth Vader during the Galactic Civil War 8 months after Empire Strikes Back. Sounds cool. Where will we be able to watch it? You'll be able to watch it on Star Wars Theory's channel when he releases it. Yep, we're done filming. I can't wait to see the first episode of the series either, Lightning Star. Is the plot twist that Darth Vader is going to be a gun? Man, how did you find out that spoiler? I don't even know. And I do hablo español. Alright, what was the worst part about setting up on location? So setting up on location, probably the hardest part with setting up on location is that you have very little control over things. So oftentimes you can't use power on the location. You got to bring generators. So today we had to use a generator for all of our lights. Mostly because people don't want to tap into the power, because usually film lights use a buttload of electricity and actually need special generators. Unless you're using LED lights, LED lights use a lot less electricity than HMIs or just your standard tungsten lights. And so today we weren't planning on shooting in 2 locations, but we had to pick up some stuff that we didn't get yesterday for our big action scene, and we needed it. I mean, if I didn't get the shots, I just wouldn't have been able to tell the story. So we actually just got the bare bones of what we needed to tell the story. Don't worry, it's still getting pretty sweet. But there are a lot of cool shots that I wanted to get that were just kind of add some flavor to it. I wasn't able to get, unfortunately, but it'll be pretty sweet. Any high ground references in the film? You better believe there is, man. I was pretty adamant about that, actually. In the first scene, there is a high ground reference. So, all right. Did you only use sets, or did you also use green screen? Good question. There are 2 green screen moments in the film, plus a window that has green screen. But one of the sets in the film is completely green screen. We went full George Lucas on this. So will Rex show up? You know, one of the big things. So we have been looking for clones, specifically 501st clones, and it's surprising. Uh, with our budget, we couldn't fabricate brand new clone armor, so that just wasn't an option. Because brand new clone armor is like at minimum $1,500, and so we wanted 501st, but any cosplayer who does 501st like only does Rex, and Rex didn't participate in Order 66. You know, so he really wasn't a clone trooper after that. So no, Rex is not in the film. Would have been cool. We tried to get a guy who had a Commander Cody outfit, because that would be pretty cool. I sent an audition for a Jedi. I wonder if you can send you guys a video of me in a kind of cringe Star Wars fan video I made with some friends as an audition, since it's better. Yeah, you can send that, Shane. We haven't looked at any Jedi auditions yet, just so you guys know. Will the movie have an opening crawl? No, it will not, because I feel like when you're not sitting in a theater, opening crawls are kind of counterproductive to what people want on YouTube. So we're getting right into it. My son's favorite Star Wars character is Darth Vader, and I am very excited for this film. He just found out about the Vader movie when I showed him the Star Wars series live stream. Yeah, cool, man. It's gonna be cool. Will there be a lot of Easter eggs? Yeah, there's quite a bit. We've tried to include quite a few little Easter eggs in the film. So I couldn't even tell you all of them because there's been so many. All right. Will the film start with a shot in space? Yes and no. I'll say that. But the opening shot is the one that Star Wars Theory said was like, after he said it, he's like, dude, that was probably one of the sweetest shot I've seen in any Star Wars film. All right. So, will Obi-Wan be a reference? Possibly. If you guys remember, if you guys remember, Obi-Wan was one of the dudes we auditioned for. There's a reason for that. When you're editing, what do you focus on most, and what's your process like? It's all about telling the story. Nothing else matters. If the camera move is sweet but doesn't tell your story well, it's no good. All right. There's lots of reviews. Congrats on finishing the film. How does it feel to be done with that? What's the next step? So now that we're done, tomorrow we do interviews with a behind-the-scenes guy while the assistant editor logs all the footage and organizes and syncs it all. And then Tuesday we start editing. We will do one major scene first that has a lot of visual effects, so we can start getting that out to you fans, like a lot of you guys, to start doing the visual effects work. So hit like, guys, because you like me. All right. I saw Stormtroopers in Star Wars Theories live stream. Are there going to be Stormtroopers as well? No, there are no Stormtroopers. The reason you saw a Stormtrooper is that we had a great fan. Let's Talk Star Wars. Oh, there he is. He has a Stormtrooper costume, and he was gracious enough to come, and but he didn't have a clone, but we wanted him there, and so he came, and so we utilized them in as a foreground element of shots, or just seeing legs, or in the deep background, and he looks like a clone. So we didn't want to betray the time period because we are shortly after Revenge of the Sith when Stormtroopers weren't quite a thing yet, but Stormtroopers totally worked in the background, and it looks like a clone. So it's just to add another body in there to really make it look like that the scene was as full as we wanted it to be. All right, is that your wedding photo on the back wall? Yep, that's my wedding photo with my wife. It was a pleasure working with you too. Let's Talk Star Wars. Thanks, Mike. All right, so once the fan film is complete, I will be doing a review on it. With your and Star Wars Theory's permission, may I use your video to review it? I assume you're talking about the fan film. I can't say yes or no. that Star Wars theories thing. How did you get into Star Wars? So when I was like, my brother is 7 years older than I am, and I remember specifically one night I wanted to watch the movie Alien because my parents had taped it on TV, so it had been like edited and stuff, and I heard it was really scary. And so my brother tried to get me to watch Return of the Jedi. He's like, there are aliens in this one. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch Alien. I was like probably 6. I don't know. But anyways, I don't remember what we watched, but that was I remember like the first time I kind of heard of Star Wars, and but it wasn't until I was homesick, like in junior high, for like a week, that I discovered the original Star Wars and watched them like over and over and over again, and I was so blown away by them that I watched them. So, all right, let's see here. Will anyone have the high ground in this film? You better believe they will. Are you going to have commentary of the film, shots and ideas? I could do that. I can answer questions about it too. Natalie Franceschi, you are inspired by your amazing younger sister. Duh. Yeah, thanks, Natalie. That is my younger sister. Did you have to do thousands of reshoots today? No, we didn't have to reshoot anything. No, we were just getting shots that we did not get at all. Where did you get your suits? Oh, it's looking fly. Thanks, dude. That's why I'm spiffy nerd herder. I wanted to like go scruffy nerd herder, but let's be real, I'm not very scruffy looking, and I don't have a beard, and so I decided to do spiffy nerd herder because I wear suits when I direct, so I don't wear a suit every day. Sorry, guys. But I wear a suit when I direct, and so I thought it'd be fun to wear a suit in pretty much all my videos. Although, as you can see, I'm not wearing a suit right now because I'm tired. I'm sitting on my couch. All right. What's your favorite Star Wars character? Anakin. Totally. Dude, I'm a big fan of the prequels. I love the prequels. Episode 3 is my favorite of all of the Star Wars. However, I think Empire Strikes Back is the best made of all the Star Wars. I fully recognize Revenge of the Sith has plenty of flaws, but I just love it. But I love them all. I often say that like episodes 1 and 2 are the least best of all of them, but I still like them. I feel you, dude. I saw New Hope when I was 9. I finished the trilogy and been a fan since. Nice, dude. So let's see here. Thoughts. When I first saw episode 7, I was super hyped, of course, right? Like everybody. And when I went and saw it, I got home, and my wife was like, so how was it? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I liked it. I got to go see it again. So I went and saw it again. And it was just like, basically was by that. And then episode 8, I really wished we would have saw Luke as a full power Jedi. Basically, I like 7 and 8. They're Star Wars still. But one of the biggest things I don't really enjoy about the new trilogy is that it undid everything about episode 6. So like, yay, we defeated the Empire. Actually, no, we didn't. It's pretty much still around. It just has a new name. Luke is a Jedi. Actually, no, he's not. He's a hermit in a cave. Han and Solo are together. Han and Leia are together. Actually, no, they're not. They're separated. So it basically undid. Oh, yeah, we destroyed it on the Death Star. Actually, no, they didn't. We just built a bigger one. And so, to me, it was just like, what was the point of all of episode 6? It's like, if you were to watch episode 4, 5, 6, and 7 all in a row, you would be like, what? Didn't we just watch all this movie? Anyways, but it still had some sweet moments. Rogue One or Solo? Rogue One, man, all the way. How long will each episode be? The first episode would be around 10 minutes. Calvin borrowed. I'm sorry, guys. TLJ was my 3rd favorite Star Wars movie. Hey, dude, Calvin, more power to you. All right. Am I a fan of the MCU? Yeah, I am. I don't know enough about it. Like, I know the movies really well, but I don't know the comics. Yeah, and I agree with you about Toast. I mean, I like 7 and 8. Just a little too. I'm a little too critical of movies. My wife hates watching movies with me since I just point out things. She's smiling at me right now. So Natalie Franceschi, my sister, said, "Why don't you tell us all who helped decide on Spiffy Nerdherder?" I asked my whole family what my YouTube channel should be called, and she suggested Spiffy Nerdherder. So I guess I owe it to her. All right. Is it true you're naming your next child Anakin? No, I have a son named Luke, but he's not gonna be. Okay. All right. Dang, 10 minutes. I thought it was gonna be an hour, dude. I wish it could be an hour, but I said last night. So an actual Star Wars movie costs about $2 million a minute. We're making ours about 10 minutes for $80,000. So when you think about that, we're making it for less than 1%, like proportionally of what a real Star Wars movie cost. And so it would just be literally impossible to do it at the quality we're doing it at an hour. It's just, sorry. I wish it could be because it just couldn't be done. Do you have an Instagram? Yeah, I have an Instagram. Spiffy Nerdherder. Same thing as my YouTube. All right. So if you had to choose between making a small budget feature film but have complete creative control, or do a big budget film with not much creative space, depend on the story, I think, to be honest. All right. Suspension of disbelief is hard in bad movies. Yeah, it totally is. Yeah, even you gotta. There always has to be a level of belief in any film. All right, guys, hit the like button and keep the questions coming. While you guys ask some more questions, so today we shot some things with the clones, like you saw, and one of the ways. So we had 3 clones, one stormtrooper, and 4 clones. Excuse me, 4 clones, 1 stormtrooper, and 2 TIE Fighter Reserve pilot type characters. But we wanted to make this mausoleum look pretty darn full. And so the key is to use basically the z-axis, like the 3-dimensional space, and just stack them like crazy and have them kind of walk in and out. With the clones, you got the advantage because they all look the same. And so that's the way you make a space look like it has been filled with a lot of people. A lot of people think you got to get a huge, giant wide shot and fill it with people. But you don't. You can stack it in the z-axis and just go all the way back into the background while keeping a somewhat of a narrow field of view, and you can look like you got a lot of people. So we did that trick today. All right. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? No, 44 Sleep. You got to tell that once in me sometime. All right, who's gonna voice Yoda? I don't know yet. We haven't cast anyone beyond episode 1. Excuse me. We haven't even cast the voice of the clones yet, or of an Imperial officer, but we got to do that soon. Thoughts on working on the Vader fan film? Dude, that's what I'm talking about, Lego Maker. It was awesome. I mean, it's a dream. It's a dream. I want to totally make a real Star Wars film one day. That's like my professional goal, to direct a real Star Wars film. Well, an official Star Wars film. This is a real Star Wars film. So the clones got cloned. You better believe it, man. All right, who taught the lightsaber choreography for Vader? We hired a stunt coordinator. His name is Graham Hooper. I think his last name is. But he was very good. And Dupree Jones, our Vader, is part of the Saber Guild, and so he practices regularly. He's got a great thing. In our film, he fights with his. Well, at one point, he fights with his left hand. He's one-handed with his left hand. You guys are going to see why. A few people have been griping a little bit about that, but come on, you got to trust us. There is a reason why he's fighting with his left hand, and you're going to see why. So, but have a little faith. Can't give away everything, though. All right, can I play Kylo Ren in the fan film? Kylo Ren hasn't been conceived, man. All right, official release date for the fan film, end of December. What do you look forward to in post-production? Editing. I love editing. I've been a professional editor for almost 10 years, so I love editing. I don't remember Obi-Wan being on the list of characters to audition. Did I miss something? I don't know. You must have. Yeah, he's there. All right. It's awesome that you explain film directing inside stuff. I hope you make more movies. Hey, thanks, man. Their lack of faith is disturbing. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. All right. What editing software do you use to edit your films? I use a software called Avid Media Composer. It's it's like the industry standard for filmmaking. Um, so there are other programs like Final Cut and Adobe are fine too. However, I don't even know how to use them. Can we expect a sequel? Totally hope so. The current plan is to do a sequel. Well, not I shouldn't even say plan. The dream, the dream is to do one next year, but who knows what'll happen. Um, the first one's gotta. So I'm gonna be moving tomorrow. It's gonna suck not being able to see all these updates and probably not even be able to see the fan film once released. I'll definitely watch in time. Well, Eclipse Affinity, you got until December, so unless you're moving for 3 months, I hope you'll make it. How many episodes do you expect to make? So the script is a little over 30 pages long for the entire series. Um, that was based on when it was one full thing, and we're splitting it up. There's a lot of fighting in that, so it might end up being a little longer. We'll see. Um, but there'll be anywhere from 3 to 5 episodes. So part of it is we want to do it right, of course, for the right budget. Since Star Wars Theory pays for this out of pocket, like I hope you guys know, he is losing money on this. Like he just wants to make this because he loves Star Wars and he loves his fans. And there's no like this is not like some underhanded scam or something. Like he just legitimately wants to make this fan film, and he can't put ads on it. Lucasfilm has told him he can't. He wants to make it. So, all right, but episodes 3 to 5, I'm guessing. So, but either way, it'll be. I mean, if I were you guys, I would want 3, not 5. I mean, because it's the same length. If you're 5 episodes, they're just gonna be shorter. But and there'll be more spread out. If you get 3 episodes, you get them probably hopefully a little bit closer together and they'll be longer. So I guess let me know what you guys would want. Would you want 3 episodes, but they'll be longer each episode, or you want 5 episodes and they'll be shorter? What would you guys prefer? All right, it goes extremely well, and if it goes extremely well, and you end up making all 5 episodes, do you think we could expect you to this web series? That's an interesting idea. Maybe. It has a pretty definitive end. But that would be fun. I mean, there's a million trillion different possible stories for Vader. Totally. So, what got you motivated to direct the fan film? Because I want to direct Star Wars, man. Three episodes. 3 episodes. As long as the story demands it to be. That's a good answer, Gene. Or John. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. That's a good answer. You're right. Totally right. I personally think 3 would do better service to the story than 5 episodes. Favorite Star Wars characters, Anakin. And yeah, Calvin, it kind of feels like a trilogy. All right, when we see Star Wars Theory's face, you will see Star Wars Theory's face in the film. And you're going to have to guess on who he is. And he'll reveal it's who he is. But he is in the film. You see his face pretty clearly. He plays a character in it. And he in his scene, in the scene he is in, I shouldn't say his scene. The scene he is in is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome indeed. Okay, Danny, out of curiosity, can I ask if you were hired directly and contracted for this film? Not 100% sure what that means. But I was paid, if that's what you mean. Yes. Mostly because I've been working full time on it for 2 months. I wish I were super rich and super cool to be able to volunteer 2 months out of my time, but then my wife would leave me and take my kids, and I don't want that. So I need to eat. I need to feed people. Um, all right. Vigilante reviews. I personally would like it in 3 episodes, but I think Star Wars Theory would get more views at 5. You know, it's totally possible. But like I said, he's not putting ads on this. So the views kind of don't matter, like for ad revenue. So it's totally driven by what can be afforded, what he can afford, and also how popular the first episode is, how popular the second episode is. But it's really based on how popular the first episode is. If it really takes off, he'll be able to do probably a little bit more, or want to do a little bit more. and maybe we'll be able to do the second episode. All right, I auditioned for the Clone Trooper voices. Do I have to come in and redo them, or am I fine? So Lego Maker, we haven't casted the Clone Trooper voices yet, just because we've been so swamped by just preparing for filming. Like guys, there are literally a million different things to prep for, like down to the last little tiny corner. Like you have to be prepped for, because if you're not prepped for when you need something in a shot, then you gotta wait for it to get prepped, and then you're not filming. And like you are just going, trying to get as much as you possibly can film in a filming day. And if you waste even 10, 15 total minutes throughout the day, that means you don't get one shot, or that means you don't get another few takes. So that is a big deal, and often at times you might waste an entire hour throughout the day waiting for things, which just stinks. So you got to be totally prepared. And so we've been preparing for episode 1, and because the clone voices were not needed for shooting, we have not cast them yet, but we will. Okay, so Mag, all right, let's see here. Will Star Wars theory speak in the film? You better believe it. Does he play an Imperial officer? I can't say, Bowen. Sorry. Might be revealed. Yep. All right. What music do you listen to in order to pump yourself up to work? I used to listen to Stairway to Heaven a lot. Sometimes, actually, when I was writing the script and playing the shots, I kind of listened to the Rogue One soundtrack on repeat, to be honest. It was the only soundtrack I had on my phone, like Star Wars wise, so I just repeated it. And I just go on binge sessions of doing storyboards while listening to that music. It kind of got me in the zone. I have found that if I'm writing certain types of stories, like for Star Wars, if I'm writing something in the Star Wars vein, listening to that type of music helps. If I'm writing something in any other vein, type of music, I don't know. I listen to film scores. But honestly, I don't listen to too much music. I listen to audiobooks a lot. Gotta kind of keep the brain moving. But I like fiction books. I like Clive Cussler. I like Michael Crichton. I like listening to nonfiction books like things about the Dark Ages. The Great Courses series. You can just get them from the library, like audiobooks. And they talk about any topic. So I like to listen to books that keep me learning, and I like to listen to a lot of investment stuff. Okay. Okay, hold on. I gotta go back. It's pronounced like John Convadev. Okay, John. All right. Sorry, I meant to ask you, how do you handle contracts? Do you usually only work for high-budget contracts? Then I saw another question down here, and I'm trying not bluntly to ask you how much you charge. Oh, I see. Why don't you email me, man? At scruffynerdherder24 at gmail.com. All right. And it is Scruffy Nerd Herder at 24, not Spiffy Nerd Herder. Okay. The 24 is Kobe Bryant's number, by the way. That's why it's 24. All right. Will the character you place have his voice? Because if not, he's got to be a trooper then. I can't say. Did you always watch Star Wars Theories channel before doing the fan film? Yeah. I watched it. That's how I found out he wanted to make a fan film. Because he said he wanted to. Do the actors get paid? Yes, they did. Yeah, because they were taking off work. So, but it's totally not much, guys. I mean, nobody made a bundle of money on this movie. It was mostly just to pay for here's some gas money type of stuff. It's just the nature of the beast. You know, it's a fan film. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a fan film. It's made for the fans, by the fans. Sweet. So most of the people in this movie were doing it out of love for the film. So, okay. Chocolate ice cream. Techno bacon. If you know and are allowed to say, how exactly did Mace Windu survive? We we don't address that in the film, actually. He's got the Force. Stupendous Wave did a video, I think it was, about how Mace Windu survived, like a theory. I thought that was decent, but no, we don't address it. Rogue One had the best manslaughter in history. We're hoping to do something just as good. Just so you guys know. Would you be a Jedi or Sith? Jedi. Jedi. I like to try. I want to try to be a good person. Okay, what was your favorite experience of working with your mentor? So my mentor is Simon Crane. He was the second unit director on Rogue One. He did the stunt coordination for Vader's scene in Rogue One, and so he is He is very involved in that scene. He directed a lot of the movie because they reshot a lot of it, and he directed most of the reshoots, or many of the. I don't know if I should say most, but a lot of the reshoots. Tony Gilroy also directed a lot of them. Um, but I've learned a lot of how to direct action, how to involve characters in the action to make sure that it is engaging rather than just shooting, and how to move the camera. Okay, Danny, are you SAG or any part of any other film union? Aaron, I am currently part of the Motion Picture Editors Guild, but I'm not part of the Directors Guild or SAG. I'm not an actor, so I'm not part of SAG. You like the Lakers? I love the Lakers. I have a from LeBron James. I don't like LeBron, but but now he's on the Lakers, so I guess I gotta like him. Okay, are you going to put the first Star Wars? Are you going to put the first Star Wars fan movie you said you made last stream on this channel? Sorry, I can't remember if you mentioned that. Yeah, I need to do that. I do need to do that. I gotta find the file on my computer. If not, I'm just gonna have to provide a link to the long lost YouTube channel because it's on YouTube. All right. Can you make more theories? Because they're great. Hey, thanks, Darth Sayan 95. Sorry if I'm not saying that right. I would love to. I've just been super busy on making Star Wars theories movie. Favorite sport is either basketball or baseball. All right, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? So Episode 3 is my favorite Star Wars movie, but I think Episode 5 is the best made. If that makes any sense. I think it's the best made one, but Episode 3 is my favorite. Thoughts on Episode 9, which is production. I am excited. I hope it's good. I don't know what else to say. I think JJ will take it home for us. Good. Although JJ doesn't. I think JJ starts things really well. Like, if you watch the shows and movies, like, they always are super engaging at first, but then they kind of fall apart in the ending. That might be more Damon Lindelof's fault. I'm not sure. But they're better than I am, so I can't say anything. All right. Where's the film shot at? The film was shot all in Los Angeles. And the stage we were at was in Los Angeles. And the, what's it called? The location was in North Pasadena, Altadena area. All right. MagD Studio has the creative insight ability to lead Lucasfilm and Star Wars. I got nothing against Kathleen Kennedy, to be honest. I made a video a little while back of people that could potentially take over Lucasfilm if she were fired, or if she were let go, or if she quit. But it certainly wasn't. For me, it wasn't saying she should get fired. It was just at the time there were a lot of rumors. I think she could be doing a better job, to be totally honest. I don't love the general direction of the franchise, but is that all her fault? I don't know. I'm not sure how much reign she's giving to Ryan or to JJ, so I have no idea who the blame goes to with. I will say it's not good for a producer to have to fire directors. So like with Chris, or Chris Lord and Phil Lord, whatever their names are, and Josh Trank, and basically replacing Gareth Edwards. That doesn't look good on a producer if they have had to fire that many of their directors, because that either means inability to work with them or just bad judgment. But you guys gotta remember, Kathleen Kennedy's worked with Spielberg most of her career. She's done some excellent films, so it's not like she doesn't know what she's doing. Techno Bacon, you should mentor me. All right, JJ is the key of all this. Yeah, I do have faith that JJ is going to really take home Episode 9 well. So I'm hoping, guys. You know, Ryan Johnson kind of retconned a little bit of what JJ did. Maybe JJ would just retcon right back what what Ryan did, and Snoke won't be dead, and he was just a force projection and all that stuff. Okay, follow up question. Since you're an MPEG, how does it work for you directing the series if the project is Union? Just assuming it isn't Union. Correct me if I'm wrong. The project is not Union. Vader fan film is not Union. It cannot be, according to Lucasfilm rules. So, the Motion Picture Editors Guild does not have. It discouraged that you don't work on union on non-union films, but it's not a rule. Not like SAG, where you're not allowed to at all, or the DGA. The director, or the Editors Guild does not have that rule. J.J. Abrams knows how to start a series, and a lot of things he's worked on, he just starts something, leaves it up to other people to finish it. So I think it will be cool for him to finish it. I kind of agree. You know, he's very famous for having great concepts, but yeah, he's got great concepts. So let's be real here. I mean, Lost is one of my favorite shows. Last season straight up stunk, but up till then it was awesome. Okay, how old are you? I'm 29. I'm old, man. All right, favorite Star Wars moment? That's a good question. The Order 66 scene is pretty awesome. Anakin Obi-Wan is awesome. I'm Your Father part is awesome. The Yub Yub dance at the end of episode 6. Then the non-special edition. I'm just kidding. I think the special edition ending to Return of the Jedi is way better than the original. I think that was one of the good changes George made. Would you direct another Star Wars movie in the future? Dude, Jose, my dream is to direct a Star Wars movie for Lucasfilm. Hit like, guys, if you haven't. It motivates me to do more of these because my wife is looking at me with eyes of when are you going to finish? I love this stream because there aren't so many people with 100 comments a minute, and we'll still be able to get to talk to someone at the end of this film. Well, thanks, man. Thoughts on the Solo film? So, Darth Sion, I'm sorry, I have no idea how to say that. Sion. I liked Solo. I enjoyed it, but I only saw it once. So, that was a while ago. I saw it when it came out. So, I'm going to definitely need to see it again. I know it came out on Blu-ray this week. I'm a big fan of Blu-ray. I don't like digital downloads because I think it's ridiculous. So I gotta go and buy it, but I've been filming, man. So I gotta go and buy it now. Let's see here. Hey, man, love your channel. If the Obi-Wan and Boba Fett spin-off movies happen, which film do you think will have a more compelling and engaging story? Which spin-off would you be more interested in? That's a good question. All right. So I mentioned in, I think the second video I did, how I would do a Boba Fett movie. This is how I would do a Boba Fett movie, because I think just on the surface, I think it would suck, because I'm not a huge Fett fan, to be honest. I mean, he's got like 4 words, and Jango Fett wasn't that cool for me. So, if they were to do a Fett movie, I think it would have to take place after Return of the Jedi. He escapes the Sarlacc pit, which I know is kind of alluded to in one of those Aftermath books or something like that. But I would make it that Snoke is like from the unknown regions, that he's a Chiss or something like that, and he has this plot to basically start the new order, but he wants to use a clone army, and so he enlists Boba Fett to be the template, the genetic template for the clone army, knowing that his genetics are for that. But part of it is that, and I don't know how it would kind of connect. But Boba Fett has to go undercover on Han Solo's ship without his helmet, without everything, and Han Solo has no idea who he is. So he doesn't know that Boba Fett is working with him. But Snoke, in all this, is using Boba Fett to convert Kylo Ren, the boy Kylo Ren, to the dark side. And so Boba Fett, in my Boba Fett film idea, would be instrumental in converting Kylo to the dark side. But the thing with Boba Fett is that I think he would need to be out of his helmet for most of the film. It's pretty difficult to get good emotion with just a mask. I think that's one of the reasons Ryan Johnson had, both Ryan Johnson and JJ had Kylo Ren take off his mask a lot. Because you can just get more than a mask. One of the mystiques of Vader, of course, is that he doesn't ever see his face, and so it does work with some characters. But I don't know if it really works with... I mean, I think it would work better with Jango if we had never seen or it would work better with Boba if we had never seen Jango Fett. I think that was kind of one of the mistakes of Jango Fett is that they showed his face. But I think it'd be really cool if he was on Han Solo's ship and we're working with him the whole time, and Han Solo doesn't know he's Boba Fett. So, anyways, so that's like part of Snoke's whole plan. The clone army fails, which is why they don't do clones in the end, and Ben is converted to the dark side. And so, like, there's like two subplots going on in the movie where it's the conversion of Ben to the dark side and how Boba Fett is involved in all that while it's being Boba Fett's movie. So I think that could be pretty cool. Obi-Wan movie. I've yet to hear a good idea for an Obi-Wan movie, so I don't know about that. Okay, Dale, how does one get into the film industry? Would you say you need to live in California? Not necessarily. It all depends on you can make movies anywhere. I don't really like California. Our ultimate goal is to my wife and I's ultimate goal is to move out of California. Um, but I gotta really start working. I gotta work my way up even more as a director before I can do that. All right, hey red bread. I like that. Watching from Brazil. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. Um, Techno Bacon. I gotta say how much you and Star Wars Theory have inspired me in such a little amount of time. I can't say all that I want to because of character limits. But thanks to you both of you for being here. Thanks, Techno Bacon. Danny, are you on a Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings. You better believe it, man. Got the movies right on my shelf. I watched a bunch of it. I watched a few of them for shot inspiration for this movie. How did you meet Star Wars Theory? I did not meet Star Wars Theory until about 2 weeks ago in person. So we just talked on the phone a lot as we were writing the story. Favorite movie in general? Revenge of the Sith. It's my favorite movie. Should George Lucas have sold Star Wars to Disney? Look at it this way, Spider-Man. If George Lucas had not sold Star Wars to Disney, I know he was kind of planning on doing 7, 8, and 9, but at the same time, we may not have gotten any more Star Wars. So, is no Star Wars better than the Star Wars we have? Right. Got it. Yeah, you got to answer that. All right, Calvin. I'm pretty happy. I live right next to Atlanta, Georgia, because I would really love to get into the film industry. And stay in Atlanta, man. Atlanta's a great place. They got Pinewood Studios there. They got a buttload of things going down there. Thoughts on the Lord of the Rings color grading? I liked Lord of the Rings color grading. Yeah, the color grading Lord of the Rings was very selective in the way they did it. It wasn't a general color grade. They isolated portions of the frame and did it the way that they did it. It's called, you're right, it's called color grading. It's not called color correction. Color grading is when you can isolate, like let's say this picture right here, you want to make that brighter. So you make that brighter in the coloring process while maybe making the key light right here on my side of the face darker. Waffles or pancakes? Every Saturday morning, Liana, my wife, myself, and my oldest son, we make waffles and pancakes. So, both, I guess. I like waffles, though, a little better. The syrup doesn't get absorbed quite as much. All right, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm going to sleep in as much as my kids and wife will. And so that probably means until 7. And then I am going to do interviews for the film with Star Wars Theory, with the producer, and with other people for Star Wars Theory's behind-the-scenes videos. He's going to do, like, guys, he's got a ton of behind-the-scenes videos planned for you guys. There's literally going to be nothing you're not going to see. So, what color grading is the Vader fan film going to be in? I'm not 100% sure what that question means, but it's going to be color graded, if that makes any sense. The look of this film is highly inspired by Roger Deakins. He's my favorite cinematographer. I really love what he does. There's a lot of colored lights in this movie. Because I really like colored lights. I don't really like white light. So it's gonna be a little bit more colorful and I don't know if I want to say artistic, but it's we're gonna be pushing the cinematic look a little bit more in this fan film than maybe you've seen in Star Wars. Solo did it a little bit more, like when the Lady Proxima scene, it's super blue, and when Han throws the rock and kind of the orange light comes in. Now, the reason it's orange light and not yellow light or something like that is because orange and blue are on opposite sides of the color spectrum. So they're the absolute opposite. So So they complement each other, but they're opposites. Okay, have you watched the appendices of the Lord of the Rings movies? I did. It was really interesting. Yeah, man, Ethan Hare. That's like that's a mini film school. It's great. They're awesome. All right. Let's see here. Who was your biggest inspiring person that helped you become who you are today? Um, that's a big question. To be totally honest, I mean, to be totally honest, I definitely believe in God, so Jesus Christ for sure. To be totally honest. All right. Have you watched? Oh yeah, I saw the bright blue light in the set and throne. Yeah. So one of the scenes has um, so, yeah, it's heavily blue light. So when you started acting, what was your go-to monologue? I'm not an actor, Kevin, so I don't have a monologue. I remember I did a monologue. I did take one acting class because if you want to direct, you should definitely take an acting class because you learn what it's like, and it better helps you to learn how to direct actors. But I did take an acting class, and I remember I did do an Ethan Hawke monologue from one movie. I can't remember what it was, but it was like he was saying, "Hey, I've got a crazy idea. Why don't you get off the train with me?" Something like that. Then another one was a play called Landscape with Weapon. A play I've never seen. It was just a monologue from the play. I didn't know anything about it. All right. Should The Rock be in the spin-off Obi-Wan film? I don't know if The Rock belongs in Star Wars. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, 39 likes with 35 viewers. That means I've lost a bunch of you, but thanks for the likes, guys. Like if you haven't yet, please. All right, the Mercenaries arc in Clone Wars plus in Rebels makes them great. Check it out. Yeah, man, I agree. All right, how many lightsabers you own? We have 3 toy lightsabers, an Obi-Wan, a Darth Vader, and a Kylo Ren, and then I got a Force Effects Anakin lightsaber. That's super old. I got it like when the price was only $100 and not like 3 trillion what they are now. My grandma got it for me for one of my birthdays when I was like a teenager. Okay, well, obviously directors do need to know how to act too if they're going to direct actors. Yeah. Yeah. Some directors, to be honest, don't really direct their actors. I'm not that type of director for sure. I like to direct actors. Um, so a lot of my training is how to direct actors. So anyone's else hyped for Clone Wars? Man, 44 Sleek. I hope everybody here is hyped for Clone Wars. I mean, how can you not be? Did you like the Maul cameo in Solo? Yeah, I liked it. It's cool. I like how they brought him back. It kind of felt like a last minute thing, but I thought it was cool. I would love to see him more on film. However, it's kind of difficult because like he's not gonna fight Obi-Wan or something like that, because Obi-Wan's already on Tatooine by this point, and Maul doesn't know where he is. But I would love to see a Maul Sidious fight in live action. Come on, guys, let's be real here. That would be sweet. Or a Maul Vader fight. That would be cool. I would love to see it. All right. Do you have any tips for someone who wants to be a director? Um, really learn how to analyze movies and analyze what the setups are. A setup is doing one camera angle in one shot. Now, the camera can move. It can go in and out. It can go up and down. And when you're watching a movie, watch a movie that has good acting, like Lincoln. Let's just say Lincoln and Daniel Day-Lewis's portrayal of Lincoln. Watch the movie and just identify what tactics he is doing as he acts. Like, is he berating somebody? Is he extolling somebody? Is he trying to unease somebody? That's you. When you're directing and directing actions, you're thinking in verbs and how to direct in that way. But most importantly, just you got to be a good storyteller. You can have great performances, you can have great camera angles, but if they don't come together to tell a story, it's no good. Like today, there's a lot of camera angles I wanted to get for the scene that we were kind of behind on, but eventually it had to come down to this: what do I need to tell my story? Because a cool shot is not worth it if it doesn't tell the story. All right. How do you feel about Broom Boy and TLJ? And we'll see what happens. All right. I bought a $40 Kylo Ren lightsaber. Cool, man. Um, what are you planning on doing next? So I'm editing the film, so that's what I'm planning on doing next. Um, is film school worth it for my career? Is it not necessary, as many directors say? There's no substitute for just working on making a film. Totally honest. No substitute. Film school is. I don't know if it's worth it. I went to film school, but if you want to go to film school where you're gonna get good contacts, like that's one of the reasons I went to USC. All right. Yeah, the new the new season of Clone Wars isn't a reboot. They did change up the animation a bit, totally, but a reboot is something where they like totally retcon the thing or totally redo the story. The new season of Clone Wars is a continuation. At least that's what at least what I understand. Okay, not gonna lie, I was pretty disappointed with Maul's death in Rebels. He plotted revenge on Obi-Wan for decades, and when he finally fought him in Rebels, he died in like 5 seconds. Yeah, I kind of felt that way, and then I read something from Dave Filoni how it was, they fought so many times. It's been such a hype. They've seen it. We had seen him fight a ton of times, and so he felt that at that point Maul was so far gone, and Obi-Wan was so centered in the Force that by that point it wasn't a contest anymore. And that's why Obi-Wan was able to kill him so quickly. And so I buy it. I would have liked to see a fight though. Let's be real. But um, but I also respect Filoni enough to say, you know what, I'll go with it. I'll approve it. Thoughts on Star Wars Resistance? I've only seen the initial trailer. I heard there's a new one that came out while we've been filming, but I haven't seen it yet. Been busy filming. Been busy making you guys a Star Wars movie. My family and I are excited for your fan film. What was your family's reaction when you told them you were directing this project? Well, they know that I've been wanting to direct a Star Wars film since like junior high, so they were pretty happy for me. My dad is an editor and director, and so he's been a great help in my career. Are you anxious for episode 2, Danny? Do other editions, other Jedi specifically, will be checked before December? Jam, I'm not 100% sure when those are going to get checked. I'm guessing it might be in December or January, just because we got to get episode 1 out, and there are hundreds of Jedi editions, like hundreds, and so I'm not sure. We'll probably get to them after episode 2. I mean, I hate that because I know how much you put in this, and initially when we were kind of starting doing this, we were hoping to make all of it, which is why we did a casting call for every character. But at the same time, I want to believe that you guys would rather see episode 1 being really awesome than us look at auditions and spend time doing that and not make episode 1 as awesome as it can be. So, see you later, Kevin. All right. What's your thoughts on method acting versus regular acting, and if you like one or the other? I think you should just regular act personally. But one of the first questions I always ask an actor is, what do you want me to call you on set? Do you want me to call you Sidious, for instance? Like I asked Steve Bartlett, our Sidious actor, who killed it, by the way. He's so good. Oh my gosh. Today, he was awesome today. Like he's so good. Oh, so much. His audition was good, and the other auditions that we saw from him. But guys, he's just a trillion times better. He just totally got it down. One of the first questions I ask actors: what do you want me to call you? Do you want me to call you Lord Sidious? Do you want me to call you Vader? Do you want me to call you Dupree? Do you want me to call you Padme? Do you want me to call you Cat? Whatever it might be. And most actors don't care. I typically end up calling them their character name. Kind of helps me here. All right. What camera are you filming on? Ogle. We're filming on an Arri Alexa Mini. It's the same they filmed Rogue One and Solo on. It's just not. They filmed on the IMAX version. We are not filming on the IMAX version. But we filmed in 4K. However, the video will be posted in HD in 1080p. Mostly for budget mostly for budgetary reasons. It will be released in HD. It's much more expensive to export 4K visual effects files because they often require special software if you're using Nuke or something like that. Or at least you got to pay the full price rather than the free HD version. Okay. Um, have you generally had fun during the film, or is it more stressful? Man, Studios SRP filming is super stressful, super tiring. I've had fun, but it's super stressful. That's why prep is so important. Um, how do you feel about Kathleen Kennedy's license being extended for 3 years? We'll see what happens. Um, I think they maybe should have gone with somebody else, but we'll see. Um, do you think they should remake that Maul Destiny and Rebels or in the Obi-Wan anthology film? Ewan, I do not think they should do that. I do not think that Star Wars just. They already did it once. I do not think they should do it again. That's just going to create problems. Maggie Studios, isn't that camera like 30K? Are you renting it, or do you guys already own it? Rented. Everything on the film, equipment-wise, was rented. It's one of the advantages of being in LA. We can rent cameras. Film or digital? Digital. With film, Dale, you pay for film basically 3 times. You pay to buy the film, you pay to have it developed, then you pay to have it scanned and made digital again. And so our budget just wouldn't allow for film, because I would certainly want to film it on 35. I would not want to film it on 16 millimeter. And film's slow. I mean, we needed to film really fast because you got to reload. Yeah, the film just. We did briefly consider it, Ian and the producer and myself, but it wasn't gonna happen. Dalton, what kind of film do you want to do in the future? Um, I want to make a low budget feature actually. I love to if we do an episode 2 for the Vader web series. I totally want to do that because I love working with Star Wars theories. It's been a joy. Um, and I've learned a lot just doing this first episode, which has been great. I mean, I've learned a lot, so much better to do episode 2. But I want to do a low budget feature. I've got a bunch of ideas a few scripts, but I would like to do that. All right, where did you go to college and how did you get in? Plasma Node. I went to 2 schools. I went to Brigham Young University in Utah for my undergrad. Got degrees in political science, Spanish, and business. Minors in Spanish and business. Actually, I was one class off from getting my minor in business because I graduated and went to work. But then I got a master's at USC, and I had to make a whole entire film for that, and that was a very intense process. And that was cool. Kind of depleted my money though. All right. How much are you of a gamer? So what do you play? So Techno Bacon. I was the biggest Halo player ever. Not ever, but I was a pretty darn big Halo player in college. Loved it. Huge fan. I mean, anywhere from Smash Brothers to Halo 1 through 4. Loved it. Then when I got married, my wife said, "You're not playing video games anymore." So I haven't really played much since. So I got kids, so and we don't have any consoles. I just like to watch movies. All right. What does Star Wars Theory look like? He's a boy. Let's put it that way. You got 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and 2 ears. But I don't think he looks like what you guys think he's gonna look like. So, I was surprised when I saw him, and when he sent me a picture of himself first. Okay, when do you think all the episodes of the Vader fan film will be done? I don't know when all of them will be done. The first one we're hoping to have done in December. Is the first episode going to be on Star Wars Theory's channel? Yeah, it's going to be on his channel. Do any of the actors in this film have agents? The kid who played young Anakin does. I think that's it. I'm not sure though. Directors usually don't deal with that type of stuff. That's a producer job. All right, Darsayan, what's your ethnicity? I am half Mexican, English, Swedish, and then a bunch of other little stuff. All right. Is Daniel Logan voicing the clones for the Vader fan film? No, he's part of a union, and so he can't be involved. Unfortunately, we found that out. What's your favorite Halo game? I don't know, man. I love 1. I love 2 and I love 3. Wasn't a huge fan of 4. But I've only played the multiplayer. I never played the campaigns. I was just all about online multiplayer. You crack Star Wars Theory stream length record. Oh my gosh, it's an hour? No wonder my wife isn't here anymore. She probably got tired. Um, top 3 favorite directors: Spielberg, Nolan, and Peter Jackson, maybe? I don't know. I was just looking at my DVDs over there. Is there a Wilhelm scream in the film? John, man, of course there's going to be a Wilhelm scream. You better believe we're keeping that um, tradition alive. All right. Are you going to be in one of the interviews for the Vader film, fan film? Yeah, Ewan McGregor, we're doing interviews tomorrow. So, all right. Did you? How did you do the casting? How did the casting process go? Do you make the final decisions, or does Star Wars Theory do it? Um, Star Wars Theory is involved. I usually choose the top 5 or 10. Then I show them to him. He expresses his favorites, and we agreed on pretty much everybody. So there really wasn't any need to tie. So but he's really trusting. Like if I say I think we should do it this way, he's like, all right, dude. So uh, and I'm not. I mean, he's paying for it, so if he feels strongly about it, I'll do it exactly how he wants. But we really haven't disagreed, not yet at least. So okay. Well, Daniel Logan came to set. No, he never came to set. Jeremy and Anna from they were there 3 of the 4 days. Anna drew a cool picture of me today, so that was fun. What do you think of Wes Anderson, Bowen? Bowen, I like Wes Anderson. I'm not a huge fan, but like I recognize that stuff is really great. However, it's not totally makes any sense. But I think there's a lot to learn from him for sure, especially his use of color and the way he uses his camera angles and then blocks his actors. Very unique. I like him. All right, thoughts on Nolan. I really liked Interstellar actually. Like I really like the science behind it. Like I read Kip Thorne's book, um, The Science Behind Interstellar, which is really great. If you're into astrophysics, you should totally read it. Like I love listening to astrophysics stuff, like by Neil deGrasse Tyson, Stephen Hawking. It's kind of one of my things I really like to listen to. I really like the idea of entanglements and black holes and stuff like that, and event horizons and all that stuff. Um, but I liked Interstellar. Okay, how long have you watched Star Wars Theories channel? How do you find the channel? Um, I don't know. Probably just searching YouTube. It's been a while. Are you gonna be in the film? I'm not in the film. I have no desire to be in the film. Star Wars Theory asked me like, "Did you want? Do you want to be in the film, man?" I'm like, "No, not really. I'll direct it. I don't want to be in it." I gotta focus on directing. How'd you find Star Wars Theory? Just, um, I think I was just searching Star Wars on YouTube. All right, where'd you guys rent the cameras? I have no idea. Immigrator, got no idea. That's a DP and a producer thing. Is George Lucas not in your top 3? I like George Lucas. Yeah, I like him too. Um, I like George. I don't know if he's the greatest director. Mostly because he doesn't really direct his actors too much. I'd have done that a little bit more. But I think he's a good director. Lazy Gamer, you want to do anything twice? Man, good job. Good for you. Do you think Solo's box office failure could have been prevented? Yeah, by not making a movie about Solo. I think that was the first mistake. You have the Star Wars universe and you make it about a non-Jedi. I heard something about not the Force. I think that was a bad mistake. Rogue One, a lot of people say, well, they did the same thing in Rogue One, but it was so tied into the other movies and the Force was mentioned all the time that it worked. And Vader was a huge part. Uh, but I definitely think they released it too soon after The Last Jedi. They should have waited till like December, I think, to be honest, to do it. But it's not. It's not that easy. If you sit on a film, the schedule goes longer, you spend more money. So I know why they released it earlier, but I don't think it was a good idea. You should have a cameo in the film. That would be great. Go play somebody dead or something next time. Thoughts on Ron Howard? Delta. I love Ron Howard. I think he's one of the best directors out there. Um, he certainly is fantastic. The guy knows film. Him, Clint Eastwood. If you actors make very good directors typically. So, do you think having an agent is necessary to become a successful actor? It helps, for sure. I don't know. I don't know enough about the casting world to. I only direct and edit once, like all the logistics behind the scenes. That's more of a producer. But it helps. I mean, there's a reason why actors have agents. It helps. Um, who was your composer for the fan film? We don't have a composer yet. We have a ton of submissions, but again, it just comes back to the idea of we needed to prep for the shoot, and so we have not gotten into things that were not directly involved in episode one. So if you guys have sent emails, wanting to be a composer or wanting to be involved in the visual effects or wanted to anything like that, we will definitely get to your emails. We are not just sloughing off your emails. We just, like I said, we've just only been answering emails that have been related to episode one. Like for filming of episode one, that is. If you could choose one actor to work with in any film of your choice, what would it be? Hugh Jackman, Ewan McGregor, Hilary Swank, I think is an excellent actress. Yeah, I don't know, I'm sure there's more. You should play one of the other Jedis in the film. Man, Lazy Gamer, I gotta be directing those scenes. Just wait for those scenes. I gotta be directing one of those. Uh, all right, have you directed any Hollywood movies? No, I have not. Not yet. How fast did that Palpatine throne go on for? He did not end up selling it. Yep. So movie props are really fragile, guys. They're designed to last for the shoots. That's what they're designed for. Um, so like the throne room place, it's like with the throne, the room that had the throne, I should just say. It's certainly would not be built. It wasn't built to code or anything like that. It's just a set. So the throne itself was pretty fragile, and like if a few people wanted to buy it, but it wouldn't even have survived shipping. So I mean, it was already kind of falling apart by the end. So we got some pictures on it, but ultimately it just had to be trashed. So sorry, Charlie. Yeah, that's funny. Sorry, Charlie. Do you like Star Trek? Ethan, I like Star Trek. I don't know much about it. I've only seen really the new movies and a few of the new generation movies. The one with Patrick Stewart. My brother's a huge Trekkie. Um, hey, Calvin. Thanks for answering Vigilance Review's question. Do you plan to see yourself directing Hollywood blockbusters in the future? I really hope so. That's like my goal. Like, I'd love to direct a Marvel film. I'd love to direct Star Wars for sure. I'd love to direct a few of my own ideas. But I love action. I love adventure. Like, action adventure is my thing. And stuff that the whole family can watch. I really want to make movies that my kids can watch. So, um, what are some movie directors you took inspiration from shot-wise for the fan film? Definitely George Lucas, J.J. Abrams, Peter Jackson, Steven Spielberg, Akira Kurosawa, a little bit of Sergio Leone. See here, who else? Not Doug Lyman, Paul Greengrass. I'm looking at my movie selection of who I looked at. The guy who directed Casino Royale, something Campbell. The guy who directed Spectre, Sam Mendes. Then even a little bit of a Toy Story. So Toy Story 3, Lee Unkrich. All right. Are you gonna make any physical copies of the Vader fan film? We're not sure yet. We don't know if we can. We're trying to figure that out. You could be like John Favreau and be in your own film. But so the difference though is that a lot of these directors who are in their own movies were actors before. I'm not an actor. Um, and so they're very used to acting, which means they can be directing as they act. They can be watching other people's performances. And I just couldn't do it. I mean, it's extremely hard to act and be watching other people's performances to the degree a director has to, because you're also trying to act. And so maybe one day, but I'm just not. I'm not that cool. Um, what are your thoughts on Infinity War? I really like Infinity War. I thought it was. I mean, I was just talking to one of the clones on the way home about this, and I think it was better than Black Panther for sure. I loved it, but I like Black Panther too. Don't get me wrong. Adomosphere, Sergio Leone. Wow, it's gonna be good. Yeah, thanks, man. We got some sweet close up of the eyes, Sergio Leone style. So, yeah, it's getting late. It is getting late, man. My wife gives me the stink eye right now. So, uh, all right. Okay, let's see here. Do you any movie scripts or ideas written down for your own film in the future? Yeah, I got a bunch of movie scripts and ideas. Are you happy with the way the set turned out and how it looked on camera? Yeah, I am. It looked really good on camera. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, you got to remember that you are designing everything for what's shown on camera. Um, and so you can you can film in an alley if you wanted to and make it look like somewhere else. Um, because it all depends on what you're showing on camera. So it looked good. It's Anakin Skywalker in the film. Dimitri Goat, you're gonna have to totally wait on that one. Gorogaz, I am totally unexperienced when it comes to filming, but it seems like you finished filming quite fast. I know it's a shorter film. I just would thought it would take a few weeks to film. Dude, I wish I had a few weeks to film. We originally wanted a 6-day shoot. Then the budget did not allow that, so we turned it to a 5-day shoot. The budget wouldn't allow that, so we changed to a 4-day shoot. And 4 days was barely enough to get the story. 5 days would have been fantastic because I would have gotten a little bit extra mustard in that thing. You know, a little bit more flavor. But it's still gonna be awesome. So, but I mean, again, you guys think 80 grand? Wow, that's a ton. I mean, yeah, it's a ton. It's like a down payment on a house or something potentially. You can get a sweet car with that amount of money. But when it comes to movie making, it's just nothing. It's seriously nothing. Um, so we really had to pull out a lot of stops. And we wouldn't be able to do it without the fan help, especially when it's going to come to visual effects. So, um, I've got homecoming week tomorrow. You do? Oh, with Dalton. Oh, well, cool, man. Be a director. All right. Do you think they casted the right Han Solo for their solo a Star Wars story? I thought Alton Ehrenreich did a good job. Um, it's hard to say if he wasn't right or not because it's like who would have been right? I mean, who can be Harrison Ford? Like nobody can. I think we would felt the same way with anybody. Like with Alden, the first 10 minutes were like it was a little like oh, okay, but I got over in about 10 minutes. Okay. Maggie Studios. I thought you were going to bed, man. Are there only 2 main locations for the Vader fan film? Or are we just waiting to see stuff? Do you guys film in any green rooms or screens or anything? Yes, there is one green screen location. So there are more than 2 locations. So wait for surprises. What type of computer do you at custom built PC? Would you consider yourself as Jedi or Sith? Jedi. How long will the first episode be? Oh, we're coming around the horn in these questions. About 10 minutes. Dalton Adams. Danny, can you read my comment? Oh, did I skip something, Dalton? Yeah, I said you're aspiring to be a director. Yeah, I said, man, be a director. And I like the shirt that says director and the megaphone and the clapboard. I like it. Jose, do you like the Yoda puppet they used in The Last Jedi? The Yoda puppet used in the original. thought the Yoda in the Last Jedi looked ridiculous. I think they just should have stuck with digital Yoda, to be honest. I think the digital Yoda looks a little better. The Empire Yoda's great, but I thought the puppet looked really weird. Okay. What's your favorite gangster movie besides Godfather 2? I don't know, man. I'm not sure. Godfather 2? Or Godfather 1? I don't know. Are you gonna release a trailer for the Vader fan film? Yeah, there'll be a trailer. Is there any outdoor scenes, like with forest or grass? There is an outdoor scene, but it's not forest or grass. It's not desert. And it's super long. It's super short. So, no. So one of the big things that myself and Star Wars Theory have been adamantly refusing to do, and guys, to be totally honest, the reason this movie cost 80 grand is because we refused to shoot in a forest or in the grass or in the desert. Because every fan film does that. And for good reason. It's cheap. We wanted to build a set. Okay, that means you got to build a set. You got to pay people to design the set. You got to pay people to build the set. You got to rent the space to build the sets. You got to pay for the materials. You got to it constricts your shooting days because you got to pay for all these things, and it costs money. The more time you're using the set, the more money it costs because you're renting the space. But we wanted to provide an experience in this film that was unlike any other fan film, where there's actually built sets, where it's not in a forest, because every fan film you see is in a forest, because it's free. Makes sense, and it looks like Star Wars, right? Because it's like Forest Moon of Endor, or Jakku, in a desert, or Tatooine. But we didn't want to do that. We wanted to give you guys something that was different. We really wanted to set this apart, and so that's one of the reasons the budget was so high, because we didn't want to shoot in a forest or grass. CG Yoda is great for doing barrel roll. Yeah, you better believe it. All right, what are your views on DC's new streaming service? I don't know. I mean, I'm a huge Superman fan. I really like Batman. I love the Justice League, but I have been severely underwhelmed by what they've done with it, and so I probably won't subscribe. Have you guys casted Maze Windu yet? Nope, not yet. All right, is every episode 10 minutes? The first one's about 10 minutes, but it remains to be seen what episodes 2 and 3 will be.